Most disturbing Ring doorbell videos of 2024 so far by Doorbell News. Always was stealing packages, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the context here. Is that his kid or not? What?
You are now watching Doorbell News.
I'm sure we'll get to an explanation of that. I like that there's an entire channel based off of this, because Ring doorbells, for better or for worse, have really caught some interesting people doing interesting things.
Come on out. I'm tired of you, bro. Just you. Come on out. Just you.
Well, I mean, clearly we can see he has some sort of weapon in his hand, right? We can see some sort of implement being a force multiplier when he swings it, right? This already is a really spooky situation to be in.
Just you. Come here. Just you. Just you.
Okay,
Just you. Suck my dick. Just you. Come here. Come outside. Open the door. Get upstairs. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Go.
That's wild. That's wild, especially, well, and that's the thing, is so cops can only do so much, right? There is that mentality of innocent till proven guilty. It's why, such as in my situation, right, where I talk to officers about excessive dog barking, dog being admitted to be prior aggressive, right? Until the dog does something like actually bite somebody, there's nothing they can really do. There's nothing that, you know, animal control can do, as they've stated, right? Unfortunately, you can have people get away with certain things because, well, I guess fortunately, because it is a innocent till proven guilty. The moment we start looking at thought crime, the moment we start looking, I think red flag laws are kind of in the same vein, right? I'm a little undereducated on those in particular. You know, we start getting into a territory like the internet, like Twitter, right, is guilty till proven innocent. And even then, throughout history, we have many cultures, many governments that have shown that, you know, guilty until proven innocent isn't exactly a good thing, a bueno thing, if you will, which means, unfortunately, people, you know, like that are going to be able to kind of walk over the system. And officers have very limited things to do things. That being said, that also comes down to a personal that's your personal decision making, right? That's your personal go through your mental flow chart. If you open the door, what happens? If you stay inside, what happens, right? Clearly he's at that point not escalated to the point where he's trying to break and enter, but if you open the door, is he going to be able to come in? Is he going to get you outside? I mean, there's a decision-making tree to be made there, and that is a really spooky and unfortunate situation that no one should have to be in, but more people than not find themselves in. I've heard the generalized advice that if somebody tries to go after you, someone tries to take you against your will, and they try to say, well, give me that, you know, give me your phone, give me your insert object here, so insert your like mace, right? And if you give it to them, sure, you may be complying in the hopes of getting out, but now you're out a useful tool. So that's one of those I would encourage anyone who is security, law enforcement, military even to really weigh in on, especially because every situation is different and unique, right? In my situation recently, it was very, very lucky that I got out the way I did, just because I made myself as small enough and uninteresting as possible, right? But especially if I was a woman, probably wouldn't have gone that way, right? There are different avenues you explore depending on certain factors like your gender, right? For me, I can generally just ignore weird people, right? They'll just be not interested in me. But if I was, say, a 5'3", woman, and, you know, kind of looked frail, maybe looked like someone could, you know, just pick me up like a sack of potatoes, okay, we might have a different decision-making tree at that point. And then I say, you know, to be afraid of everything? No, absolutely not. To be cognizant that people exist, right? To be cognizant that these kinds of people exist. And sometimes, unfortunately, the police don't really do anything or can't really do anything. That's not a slight at police. Sometimes the situation, like in mine, there's just not enough information to go off of. You know, it's not like the individual's there. You don't have what the individual looks like, so you can say it happened, but there's nothing that they can do. So, did they break in? Because the door's open. What's happening? That's unfortunate. Of course, it's Florida. Ooh, that's a... Nope, just go inside. What does he have? What's going on? I feel like this is your average Florida suburb. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought I heard that. Probably 9 mil. Yeah, that becomes an unfortunate situation. I don't know the individual front and center on that clip. I don't know what he was doing specifically. But that being said, if there's a situation like that, let's see, it comes down to a very, very quick decision-making process. Do you, get something to protect yourself, try to resolve the situation? Do you barricade yourself in, get something to protect yourself and your family? There's a number of ways that situation can go. It's dependent on the situation. That being said, as soon as something like a shot is heard, I mean, that for anyone, realistically, right, is going to be, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to shut up, I'm going to assess the situation, and then we're going to see what's relevant, depending on how close it is, depending if someone's coming after me. Depending if someone, in close proximity is the target, to which I might be the target at that point, right? There's a number of things. And even then, I'd argue it's okay to not know the details, because at the end of the day, your personal protection and safety are paramount. They are the most important things. What's going on?
We're not.
So is she a front? I know some robbers, some criminals will use women as like kind of the front. So example, if this was a house, right? And you couldn't see over the left, because obviously there's a railing on the left side of this, right? But you would have, this lady come up and you're like, hi, I need this, or hey, can you just let me in? But the moment you let them in, you got 4 just honking dudes just coming in, barreling down your door, and now you've opened the door to them. Which really comes down to, in unfortunate situations, there are absolutely people that would need help, right? There's a famous story of someone who got in a horrific wreck. They had some red paint, if you will, all down their front, and knocking door to door trying to get help. I mean, nobody's going to answer that, especially at 2 a.m., I think, when it happened. So it's just unfortunate, because there are some people that do need help, but there are people that know that that's what they try to play to their emotions to try and get their way. So you can only do so much, especially if your personal safety might be compromised.
Interested. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Papi, what happened? Yo!
Get off me before he swing on you.
Yo, Papi, what
Bitch ass
happened?
nigga.
Yo, Papi,
What's up,
Papi.
Hello, what's up?
Papi.
Hold on, whose phone is that? This your phone? This is my shit now.
Yo.
Wild. Especially in the middle of a supermarket. I'm very curious what part of town that is. Checking to make sure nobody's there. He's trying to pick. He's picking the lock? Maybe? Trying to at least force it open, it seems. And that's the scary thing, is this can happen to anybody. Like that can happen to anybody. This could be completely a crime at random, right? Just randomly, hey, this apartment looks interesting, or hey, this apartment looks like, might have a PS5 in it, might have, some electronics in it, might have some, there may be, reasoning for it. Maybe it's just random. Maybe there's a vendetta against someone personally. Obviously, he's an idiot because he didn't cover his face. That being said, I appreciate that he didn't cover his face, because at least gives people something to work off of, especially if this is a consistent thing in the area or around town, right? Where enough things dots can be connected in order to find a through line and hold someone like this accountable.
Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Knock on. Leave me alone.
Just disengage. At that point, you just disengage. It is... Yes, there is a chance of escalation if you just disengage and go in your house. But at that point, especially because there is a camera here, now you have someone like that escalating on camera as evidence, right? This is a situation where I don't doubt her strength in this, right? Like, she seems pretty confident. She's like, this is my boundary. This is my limit. You're going to stop. However, as close as he's there's definitely some rage and anger from this man here. That is something that you would disengage from that. I would not feel comfortable engaging with that, because you don't know what he's doing or what he's carrying.
Leave me the fuck alone. Stop this shit. Leave me alone. You disrespect me. See what I mean?
Well, I think that actually escalates to assault at that point.
You're a fuck. You just knocked my fucking shoes out, you motherfucker.
Ow.
You knocked my teeth out.
Oh, never mind. It's just randoms in front of the person's house. Okay. So crackheads come to mind first and foremost. Especially as I have friends who deal with them consistently. Whether these individuals are in fact under substances or not, hard to say. But this is even spookier because just random people in front of your house. Just random people just getting an altercation in front of your house. And then, if something happened, if something were to happen, if something were to escalate, right? Or say they actually, destroyed this car or something like that, hit in the lights or something like that. You as the homeowner now have to deal with stuff from some random people just committing these acts. Is it fair? I would argue not really. But there's definitely underlying issues as to why things like this happen. And it's really unfortunate because you could just, certified get off my lawn status, right? Coming onto your lawn, coming into your area, they just have an altercation, and then you might be left footing the bill or footing some sort of responsibility because it's all on your property. I disagree with that entirely.
Yeah. So I didn't have to go and get her. Watch out, Bean. Come on.
Close that door. I wonder if that is stalking or if what is that? That's interesting. Right now, there seems to be some sort of intent, at least because of, so that's closed off to the right. So it looks like potentially this is a couple floors up. So it looks like there's a downstairs and then there's an upstairs and somebody's coming down the upstairs, right? Interesting. I wonder if this might be premeditated, or I wonder if there's some sort of connection between the two. Or it's just a random. I would need more context here. Some of the edits are kind of are throwing me off. Okay. What is he doing? I wonder if he's casing the building. I mean, this looks like a clearly maybe not upper class, but at least a solid middle class neighborhood, right? To have someone just come around and just case homes, it's really awful to think about. I actually missed that. Where did he come from? Okay. I don't think that's a premeditated mark. I think that's a crime of opportunity. Because this person looks over to her right to this other individual with the red shirt, the red sleeves. And then they just go in. And now they're gonna get spooked off because now there's noise, now there's attention on it. Homeboy back there, homeboy just was walking, just didn't care. Nah, he's just going. You don't even stop. You don't even stop. Like I get it. At some point, it's just like not my problem, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my circus, right? That kind of thing. But at the same time, I mean, you didn't even stop to like call the police, say, "Hey, I'm calling the police," right? Nothing. Yeah. For 8 minutes. Interesting. So maybe it was premeditated. Maybe there was a correction here. Yeah, be aware of your surroundings. Should you absolutely be scared? Like I said, no, absolutely not. But be aware that there are people out like this out there. That's wild. Dog! Glendale. I haven't been to Glendale in forever.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just live in the neighborhood. I was taking.
Well, don't trespass. That's called trespassing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm leaving now.
I don't know. Like, there's a couple things. Like, maybe he was using the dog as some sort of like de-escalation tactic. Don't walk into somebody else's backyard. Just don't. Right? Like, don't even walk on somebody's front lawn, right? If you're on the sidewalk, because I know there's a bunch of Karens a while back that were complaining about people riding bikes on the sidewalk. She's absolutely out of her element. Like that's not. Get out of here. but just in your backyard, that is unless you know the person or unless they're supposed to be there, right? Like say contractors or something like that, or maybe it's your buddy, right? Trying to borrow something. Unless it's one of those unique situations, this is one of those reasonable, let's just call the cops at this point. I don't know what's going on. They're in my backyard. They're cognizant that this is my backyard because clearly this is fenced off, is it not? That's one of those situations where you can try to engage, such as through the Ring doorbell, or you can, try to call the police at that point because there is a level of cognizance. There is a level of just where you're committing to an action to do this. Maybe the dude's lost. Maybe dude's got Alzheimer's. That being said, if dude has Alzheimer's or something, right, to which medical personnel out there, they're Alzheimer's patients are escape artists, right? Like they're actually insane at escaping things. I have on good authority that Alzheimer's patients are actually next level escape artists. But that being said, this is someone that should probably be under watch. Someone should probably be under certain care. Yeah, one of those that the situation can go south really, really quick.
Give me your shit.
Now they're gonna converge. Attempted kidnapping? No, you gotta be loud. You have to be loud in a situation like this, because if you comply, if you submit, it can go so much worse. It's already bad, don't get me wrong. But right. There might be there were 3 cars associated with that. That's wild. Like, that could have gone so south. That could have gone so much worse. Awful. Oh! Really? It just keep hit and run. He just keeps going. Poor Storgan. They stole her dog. What dicks? Porch pirate. This needs to stop, okay? I think we need harsher sentencing for porch pirates. It's gotten to the point where it's actually just ridiculous. I get it. Times are hard. I get it. I get that packages are prime. Stop it. Get some help for all intents and purposes. Like, especially if you're caught. I mean, I don't think it's a felony because people were pointing out that it's not through official USPS, right? So it's not federal related. Maybe it does need to be. Maybe it needs to be escalated onto a level of just like, maybe we need to just move it up tiers. Kind of like how in the asset protection and security world, if somebody tries to steal something and leaves, if it's X amount, there's tiers on what it is. But if you say leave out an emergency exit or you pull a knife or something, how it gets escalated like up a tier. Maybe we should need to have that. But that being said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a police officer. It's one of those things that it's annoying, but there are people definitely better qualified to speak on this and the punishments that fit the crime. Wow. Okay, so that's actually pretty bold. Using a drill to open a lock. Very loud. Not low. It is low profile, but it's very, very loud. Maybe it's the middle of the day. Maybe they're trying to invoke the sense of maybe there's some home renovations working on it. That's interesting to think about, though. Did he actually fail at it? Dude. Homie's one of those kids that should have been left behind. I think he's trying to pop it out. He's going to the other side now. Did he still fail at it? I think he fucked up the bit. $2 p.m. broad daylight. Wow. Like, that's bold. Hawaii. We're looking at a wreck? No. Yep. Okay, we're looking at an attempted car robbery. I mean, he stood there for a hot minute. It looks like he stood there. He was contemplating it. Yeah. Surprised the alarm didn't go off. I've actually had that happen once. I had somebody break in one of my windows and steal a bag full of cards about 10 years ago. And, you know, I called the police. Did everything. Nothing ever came from it. They never found who did it. Never found the bag. I had an idea of who did it, but it was nothing concrete. It was just like, hey, this person I've been having some sort of feud recently in regards to, you know, person saying some really not so legit things to me. Yeah, that's unfortunate, especially because crimes like these, even if it's in broad daylight, can be so hard to track. He took something, yeah. Needs a break. It's a car break-in. What's happening? What's going on in Kansas? It was Yugi, a lot of expensive Yugi and a lot of expensive Naruto cards. I think I had a Naruto Sage mode in there. Yeah, figured that was a firearm. Yeah, at that point, just back inside your house. It's not worth it unless you are trained and you know the situation. So, and when I say trained, I mean you're, you know, prior military, and you could neutralize that. But even then, that could also come back to bite you, right? The best thing would be to make sure just to lock your door. If the cops ask, "Hey, so there's a thing across the street," just give them whatever information is relevant to the situation, right? You know, help try to bring whoever's perpetrating this to justice. That's unfortunate. Like, it's just a situation. There's too many variables. There's too much that's unknown. It's not good to get involved. Are they trying to get the door? They're trying to get the camera, it looks like, right? What are you doing? I thought that was a... Oh, that is a photoshopped plant. What? What's happening? Okay, he's trying to crack it. It's actually a genius tool now that I think about it. That's genius. In an awful way, don't get me wrong. But that yeah, applying pressure to go into a single point like that, interesting. What is your intent, my guy? Like what are you planning? He took the Ring camera, what a dick.
The fuck out of here. Yeah, I fucking caught you, stupid ass. Fuck out of here.
Domestic dispute?
You on my fucking door again.
What happened?
You heard me. The fuck out of here, that's what I said.
Who is it?
He was right here reaching in here and he was trying to open that car door right now.
Watch out.
Don't go all the way up here. Get to here.
Who is it?
It's covered up.
Porch power car break-in. Oh, it's level. I'll share my Ring footage from 150. I just, like... hey, Skyfire Hero.
Black hoodie and walking around with bags all over him.
Ah! Nice. Dick. I hate how they just walk away so casually, right? Like, there's intent here, right? I'm just gonna walk up, be smooth about it. Touches. Oh no, I'm just smooth. I'm just smooth. It's so cringe to me, dude. Actually cringe. Like, makes my mouth pucker into like an actual like bunghole. What a weirdo. Okay, these people, I think this was the clip from earlier because I recognize the structure. That's unfortunate. Like, just once again, like, there's got to be a better way to do packages. There's got to be a better way to do deliveries. Like, this is getting out of hand. Or they're stealing information off of it. Excuse you, lady? You have the audacity to steal a package and you're just like, nah, this ain't worth it, bro?
Motherfucker. You better hide your fucking dog. If not, I'm going to kill you, fucking dirty bitch.
Oh, yes.
Bitch.
Such intelligible language. Sure, they got the wrong apartment there. What happened? Bog, translate for us for not meth. The package was broken. What? I'd be pretty upset. I'd be offended at that point. You have the audacity to throw a package at me that you're trying to steal? Last 3 months reports. Wow. The fact that it's a repeat robbery, that's nutty, dude. That's awful. Really? That's awful. This is clearly organized. There's 4 of them working on this. What's going on? What's going on, bro? Dude's actually a certified mouth breather. Awful. It can happen anywhere. It can happen in some rural place in Alaska. It can happen in, you know, Tampa, Florida. It can happen anywhere, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully, in small towns, though, since everyone knows each other, it's a little easier to crack down on. Okay. What was the plan there? Just testing, see if it was open? Weird lady. This woman took my front door floor mat and wrote the word Thursday on my door. Not with marker, not sure what she used. She doesn't live in my building. One of my super, and he was able to view the cameras and said she didn't come from any apartment. She did, however, put my floor mat on the 4th floor. Also, the apartment above mine, she also wrote the word Thursday on it, but all the others weird. See, this is one of those things, right? Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a mental health professional. This is one of those things to me that screams some sort of mental health issue. Like, there's something going on here. Like, the behavior, there's logic to it, but there's also not logic to it. And this is one of those things that I see, and it's just... It's hard because you don't know. It's what someone in chat's mentioning, right? Dementia, right? It could be dementia. It could be a number of related things. I think reasonably you can start to gravitate towards the mental health thing. Are you not necessarily diagnosing, right? You know, as far as, well, is this dementia? Is this Alzheimer's? Is this some sort of psychosis? Is this, you know, multiple personality disorder? A number of things that this could be, right? Or even not be. More that it could not be. But this is one of those things where I feel the situation is treated differently as soon as mental health gets involved because, for all intents and purposes, they're playing a different game. You're playing chess. They're playing, like, checkers or backgammon, right? They have their own logic that they follow by. Uh-huh. What's his plan here? What's the plan?
I can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Okay, so he's frantic. If I had to guess, this is they probably know each other, or there's some sort of parasocial relationship here where he knows something that this other individual doesn't. Like, no, don't answer that door. Do not answer that door. Does he? I didn't even see it. Good eye, chat. Just pinging the camera. No, he's just knocking. He was his thumb. Okay, no, as soon as you see, like, even then, like, this is already a pretty rough situation. But as soon as you see an arm like that, an implement, you go up like 2 tiers. That is, do not engage with that. And so here's the thing, because I know people are going to be like, well, just open the door with a Mossberg or open the door with a blunderbuss, right? See, here's the thing is that you don't know if it's just him or not. It could just be him. It could just be him being, you know, being weird. But he could also have 2 other accomplices, like on the sides of the doorbell, or maybe behind the pillar, behind where the camera can't see. You know, there could be other people there. He could have got his buddies. You just don't know. And that being said, we've talked about the 21-foot rule before. The 21-foot rule I view as it's good in certain situations. It starts to fail when the other person is trained. It starts to fail if your experience with whatever you're using is lesser than your opponent's. So, I mean, sure, let's say you had, you know, an M1014 civilian variant, right? You know, semi-auto shotty, right? Like, you can only fire so quickly, and you only have so many shells. And that being said, depending on if it's a stand your ground state, depending if it's a castle doctrine state or not, I mean, you could also be in large trouble for bringing something like that, even if it's for self-defense or property defense. There's a number of unknowns there. The biggest thing is make sure you get out of that situation alive. with a Neapolitan 12 count cannon. I still wouldn't. He's frantic. He's escalated. He's pacing. His heart rate's elevated. You don't know how fast he's going to lunge at you. You just don't know. Knife Woodman tries to rob my neighbor, then starts banging on my door. That's wild, dude. What's up, buddy? Cool. So he's got some sort of name badge. So he's trying to engage in some of that, what is it, that white collar crime, trying to come across as official in some capacity. Hey. Hi, I'm from FU Lawn Service. Wow, he really homeless man. The homeless issue is so buried under so many other things, at least in the US. Because I've honestly had entire conversations where I've outlined several of the problems. Rampant substance abuse, financial factors, people wanting to seek progress versus people not wanting to seek progress. Right? That's just a few of them. Right? There's so many actual macro issues that prevent homelessness from really being tackled, and even then there might not be a good solution depending on everything, right? So for example, Buddy works asset protection, right? He's had to trespass people who say they're going to turn their life around 40 times, right? Oh, I'm going to turn my life around, I'm sorry, I'm going through a rough situation, and he has to trespass him from stealing another 40 times. So some people, it's not everyone, right? That's not to say that all homeless people are like this. No, I guarantee you there's people that maybe you have been homeless. It's not everybody. It becomes an issue when there are the unfortunate few, or at least the people who just don't want to turn their life around or want to do anything about the situation. And it just becomes buried under macro issues. I don't know if this is necessarily robbery intent. He could just be wandering around. But then again, you also don't know the situation. The situation is unknown. From chat, which is actually relevant to the situation. Thank you for commenting. I used to work with homeless people. There are a lot of mental barriers that hold people up. No, I could absolutely see it. I mean, from a very mundane perspective, right? Hey, I want to go out and do a walk today, right? But, 12 hours pass. You're like, well, I guess I didn't do a walk, right? Because you just couldn't get the energy to get your shoes on. Something as simply motivating as that in the mundane life, right? There's a lot going on. I am definitely not a specialist in it. I can outline issues, but I'm not necessarily one to solve it, and I most certainly can't solve it by myself. Yeah, he rang it and left. This is just upsetting. I wonder if that's different than what they've seen before. They're probably not used to the grate. Or they can just do that. Well, now that the alarm's going off, they have, what, X amount of time before someone actually gets there? Is that a buzzsaw? No, it's a tile saw. Really? One almost wonders if there's a vendetta at this point. There's got to be a vendetta or something at this point. Like, there's got to be a reason why they're going to this store specifically and going through this much effort. That's you begin to wonder if there's a connection. Wow. I mean, they're efficient at what they're doing. Like, this is definitely organized. Wild. San Diego. Oh, baby, San Diego. Let's go. He's on the fence a little bit. He's got some craziness in his eyes a little bit. You can see it a little bit. Break in and entry. Police contacted. Nice. It's wild to see this. Well, they're on borrowed time at this point.
Doorbell News Crime Watch.
Wow.
Coming to a neighborhood near you.
Oh,
Make sure you subscribe today.
They did the funny
If
voice.
a thief breaks in, the first thing they'll notice is your security camera.
Nice.
Hide your camera with Cam Masker.
Oh, that's what that
Cam
was.
Master works with Ring, Wise, Blink Mini, and Nest Cam. Order yours today at cammaster.com.
Why does this look like something you'd buy off Amazon or Temu? And it's just like, ah, yes, inconspicuous, quote unquote, camera. This is literal camera. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a cool product. I think it's neat as an idea. It doesn't look that inconspicuous to me. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm an odd one here. Shoot. That was really cool, actually. I like that. I like that marketing. Bars are hollow for weight purposes. Oh, God, yeah, so it's going to make them easier to cut through. Well, it looks like he burnt through that saw blade, right? So that's interesting. Alas, that was a very interesting introduction to Spook Month. Hope you all enjoyed this, and I encourage you, if you don't know how to handle these situations, if you're curious on how to handle these situations, definitely feel free to ask those questions, right? Well, what would you do in this situation? How would you get out of this situation? How would you respond to that situation? And there are certain things that you're not going to have those answers to, and that's perfectly fine. And I encourage you as well. I mean, if you are military security, asset protection, something like that, I mean, and you got some insight to share, I mean, absolutely. Make sure you're obviously, nothing that's not public, right? I don't want anyone getting in trouble. Only as much as you feel like you can share. I feel like this is one of those things that, especially in the modern era, this is stuff like this has always happened, right? People breaking in, robberies, stuff like that have always been happening. But now we have a different manner of being able to see things because of the Ring doorbells, and because a lot of people are just constantly being watched by cameras like this. So it's very interesting to see what's going on out in the wider world. It's very interesting to see what's going on out in the world, and then also kind of try to like problem solve, right, in real time. Try to problem solve what's going on and how you would respond to the situation. So definitely, if this interests you, go ahead and check out Doorbell News. Down in the description down below, I have links to this original video as well as their channel, so you should have no trouble finding it. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one.